guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be attempting to do a full beat, full glam makeup look. I see all of these bigger YouTubers that tend to do a lot more full glam looks try and do the natural makeup challenge, and for me, I typically use one pump of foundation for my entire face and I use very lightweight base makeup, but then I watch other people's tutorials and they're using like 3 or 4 pumps per cheek, or they're blending out their full coverage foundation with another full coverage foundation and then using tons of Shape Tape foundation, then setting with a powder that adds coverage, and I'm just really curious to see how that amount of makeup would look on me personally, because I'm really curious to see if I genuinely followed their step-by-step tutorial, how realistic that amount of makeup would look like on my face. So this is obviously no shade to anybody. I am just as curious to see how a full beat would look on me as they are to see what a natural beat would look like on them. So if you're curious to see me put a whole lot of makeup on this face, then go ahead and keep on watching. As a first step, I'm going to start off with primer. This one is the Marc Jacobs Coconut Primer. I'm going to take 1 pump of it and I am just going to massage this into the skin. This is going to add a bit of hydration, which is good because with the amount of makeup we're putting on top, we need our skin to be hydrated. Now, the most full coverage foundation that I own is this one here by Urban Decay. This is the All Nighter Waterproof Longwear Liquid Foundation, and it is in the shade 4.0, which is a little bit dark for me, so I'm going to go ahead and mix in some of my Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation in the shade 3W1 Tawny. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 pumps of the Urban Decay All Nighter, and I'm just going to distribute that around my face, and then I'm going to take some of my Estee Lauder, oh my god, and I'm going to blend this stuff together. I'm genuinely worried right now. Alright, let's just start blending this on the skin. Oh, I just don't understand where this product goes. Like, there's only so much blending that you can do. Like, there's just so much product and I don't have that big of a face. Like, where am I blending it to? And some people don't even use a beauty blender. Like, they'll use a brush, and a brush doesn't absorb as much product as a beauty blender does. So I just genuinely don't understand what happens to that amount of product. I just don't get it. Okay, so now that we look lifeless, I'm just going to go in with my Dip Brow Pomade from Anastasia. This is in the shade Chocolate, and I'm going to go ahead and draw on a nice, bold brow. So I just zoomed you guys in so you can see what's going on a little bit clearer and closer up. The next thing that I'm going to do is my shadow, because I want to do a dark smoky eye, and if we have any fallout, I don't want to ruin the concealer. So I'm going to be taking the Kat Von D Shade Light Eye Palette today, and the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with this brown shade right here and create a nice wash of color all over the lid. And I'm just going to very messily blend this all over. And then with a different brush, I'm going to be taking this shade right here and I'm going to blend out the crease. So I'm just going to go right at the top of that color and kind of use that shade to blend that out. And it's a little bit light to use to blend that out, actually. So I'm going to use this shade right here instead because that one was a bit too light and it's looking ashy. So for this eye, I'm going to go in with that shade that we were using to blend out the upper crease first. Maybe this will be a better idea. Now I'm going to go back in with that shade that we put all over the place, just right underneath that and all over the lid. So this eye's technique is a little bit better. This one's not really working, so I'm just going to go ahead and take off what I have going on with some of my micellar water, and then we're going to start this eye over. So it's another good reason to do your shadow after you've done your foundation, because you don't have any powders to worry about. So I just took that off, and then I'm using my beauty blender again to put some foundation over the lid to prime it. So next up, I'm switching to another brush. This one is a Soft Dome brush by Makeup Geek, and I'm taking this brown shade right here, and I'm just going to go slightly lower than that brown and on the lid. Basically what we're doing is we're going from darkest to lightest, and the darkest shade is going to be at the lash line. This technique also does not look good until the last step. It's going to look super messy. So these colors are actually looking a little bit ashy, blended out on top of each other. So I'm going to switch to my Makeup Geek singles, and I'm going to be taking this shade right here, and that is called Americano, and I'm going to be blending that all over the lid. And I'm going to take a little bit of Sidekick and Cocoa Bear to blend that out. This is much better. So now I'm going to go ahead and use Kohl by Anastasia Beverly Hills. Like I said, I don't have a black single shadow from Makeup Geek because I have tons of them in other palettes. And I'm just going to go ahead and put this on the lid and blend this into those browns. Blending matte shadows all on top of each other takes so long. So I'm actually going to go into this Ish palette. This is the Smoky Shadow palette, and I'm going to take their black just because the Anastasia one is great. It's super pigmented, but it's not super creamy, so it's a little bit hard to blend it into the other stuff going on. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this palette because the black is super creamy and use it to blend out the stuff that's going on the lid. It's also a lot blacker actually. And then I'm going to use the shade Serious right next to it to blend that out. I should have just used this palette from the beginning instead of hopping around to so many different places. Sorry guys, I haven't done this style of smoky eye in so long, and it's interesting to see what shadows are creamy enough to kind of do this blending work and which shadows are pigmented enough and all that. So this is definitely a winner if you want to do this kind of look. You can start with this in the crease, this one to deepen it, and then this on the lid, and then you're set. This is a great palette. Okay, so I'm actually going to leave the eyes like this for now, and then I'm going to clean this all up with concealer and then continue. For concealer today, I'm going to be using my Tarte Shape Tape in light neutral, and I'm just going to layer this on. So I'm also going to use it to clean up over here. And I'm just going to go to town. Normally, I take everything off the stick and I just put a drop, but I dipped back in today. Okay. I'm going to take it on the sides of my nose, center. I'm going to go ahead and do this on the forehead over here. Going back in on the chin, on the nose over here. I'm just going to take some of my Smashbox water and then re-dampen my Beauty Blender a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and start blending this out. My face feels like a crepe. Ugh. I don't understand. Ugh. I'm going to darken the concealer a little bit with my Maybelline Fit Me in shade 20 just because I'm looking like a ghost and I'm not digging it. Okay, so now let's cream contour. I'm going to be using this Lancome makeup stick, and this is in the shade Bisque 420. And let's just do the whole thing. Here. And then they say, don't worry if you get messy because you can always clean it up with translucent powder. So let's go ahead and bake our faces. So I'm just going to take my Laura Mercier translucent powder and I'm just going to pile on the powder. Clean up down here. And Okay. And then let's finish the eyes while we have this powder on so that if we have any fallout, it'll fall into the powder. So I'm just going to take the Ish palette. I'm going to take the shade Spiritual, and I'm going to go ahead and blend that out first on the lower lash line, connecting it up over here in the outer corner and kind of blending it into this area. Okay, the next color I'm going to take is Serious, and I'm going to go right over that, and again, connecting it in the outer corner. And then last, I'm going to take the shade Severe, which is the black, and deepen that even more. Next, I'm going to take this blackish liner, and I'm going to tight line my eyes. For the inner corner highlight, I'm going to use some of the shade Shiny. It's just this pretty gold shade in the palette. And I'm taking that on a Sigma E21 brush. And it's super tiny. I'm just going to take a little bit of that right in here. So now I'm going to go ahead and dust away all of this bake. And now I'm going to go ahead and take my Too Faced Milk Chocolate Bronzer, and I'm going to go ahead and set those creams and really contour and sculpt the cheeks. And I'm jumping around a little bit, but I just want to add some mascara to the eyes because it's bothering me. So next I'm going to go ahead and add some blush. I'm going to go into this Becca palette. I'm going to take this middle shade right here, and I'm just going to hit the cheeks. This is a matte blush. For highlighter today, I'm going in with Fuego from Dose of Colors. First, I'm going to go ahead and just hit this on the tops of my cheekbones. Oh wait, let's spray our brush first. Or actually, I'll spray the face. Let that start to dry. And then now we'll go ahead. That just makes it more intense when you're applying it when your skin's still just a tiny bit wet still from your setting spray. Now I'm switching to Laura Geller Gilded Honey, and I'm going to layer that on top. Now for lips, I'm going to be taking this Anastasia Beverly Hills liquid lipstick in the shade Vamp, but to line my lips, I'm going to be using the shade Sand Beige by NYX. This is one of their retractable pencils, and I'm actually going to overdraw my lips ever so slightly. Okay, so now it's time to set the skin with some setting spray and kind of drown yourself in it. Whew. And then here we have the completed look. Now obviously I was having some blending issues with the eyes, but considering they don't look too horrible. My face definitely looks very, very heavy. Especially around my chin area, it's kind of like clinging to every single thing on my face. Like all the little fine lines and bumps. It's settling into all the pores around my mouth, into my fine lines. Underneath my eyes, it looks super heavy. My cheeks look very heavy and muddy. I think that this amount of makeup would look good in photography because then you really don't lose anything that's on the face because it is so intense. But just for day-to-day wear, evening events, all that type of thing, I just don't think that this is realistic. This liquid lipstick is like feeling chunky. So that is it for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Would any of you guys realistically wear this amount of makeup on a day-to-day basis? I don't know. For me, I just much prefer a natural look. It just feels less heavy on the skin also. Again, I hope that I didn't offend anybody by making this video. I just wanted to see what it would be like as a natural makeup girl myself, what it would feel like to wear a full face of glam makeup. I mean, the people that wear this makeup and pull it off, oh my god, it looks amazing, but for me personally, I do not like how it feels or how it looks on my skin. My skin has too much texture and it's too dry in certain areas to be able to pull off this much foundation, this much powder, and this much stuff going on. So that's it. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you have not already, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.